What is so amazing about this thing that everybody keeps talking about? So this meeting today is for the newbies. And when I say the newbies, I mean for the person that has no prior knowledge of cryptocurrency, also for the new member who is looking to understand their business. Because trust me, when you understand your business, you can build it better. What I mean by that is when you can confidently explain what a business is to someone who is new to the business, they can easily decide to join that business because they can see the confidence in the way you talk to them about the said business. That being said, what exactly is cryptocurrency? When you hear the word cryptocurrency, we have different types of currencies. We have cryptocurrency. We also have what we call um, fiat currency, which is FIAT. Now, when you hear FIAT, fiat simply means paper money, money that exists. You can hold in your hands. You can exchange it for some goods or service. You can put it into your pockets and so on. Basically, money you can touch with your hands is what we call fiat currency. Now, but there are lots of restrictions that come with our regular banking systems. Take, for instance, let's say you would like to send, a huge amount of money, let's say $500,000 to a friend of yours who stays in Sweden or a friend of yours that stays in Denmark. Now, you and I know that for you to send that money, first of all, you need to get to the bank. When you get to the bank, you need to sign some paperwork. Also, ensure that you can send certain amounts of money to certain countries. Basically, there is no privacy when it comes to your own money. So that is one thing that, restricts a lot of transactions. But in cryptocurrency, there is no such thing. In cryptocurrency, you can send as much as it is, let's say $1 million to $1 billion, and it will get to the next person as easy as a text message, that quick, which is impossible when it comes to our regular banking systems. So all I'm trying to say is that cryptocurrency gives you an avenue for privacy and also transparency. I'll explain. Now, every single transaction that has ever happened in the cryptocurrency space gets recorded on what we call the blockchain. Blockchain. Now, what exactly is the blockchain? Like I said, this is where every single transaction that has ever happened in the cryptocurrency space gets recorded. Now, we have a saying that the blockchain is transparent and it is also anonymous. Excuse me. It is also anonymous. Now, what do I mean by this? When I say it is transparent, I mean that you can log onto the blockchain right now, scroll back to 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and you can see a transaction that happened at this same time. Right now, the time is past 9. If you scroll back 6 years ago by 13 minutes past 9 on the 30th of October 6 years ago, you will see a transaction that happened. Why? Because every single transaction that ever happens in cryptocurrency gets recorded on the blockchain and it cannot be changed. It cannot be altered. It cannot be removed. Now, we also see that if you go to the blockchain, what would you see there? You would see the wallet address that sent the funds, the cryptocurrency. You will see the amount of cryptocurrency that was sent at the time. You will see the wallet address that received the cryptocurrency as well. Now, we also have a saying that the blockchain is anonymous. Now, why would we say it's anonymous? We say it's anonymous because even though we can tell the wallet address that sends the funds, the one that received, and the amount that was sent at the time, we cannot tell who the owners of these wallets are. We cannot tell if it is John or Jane or James that owns the wallet that sent the funds, or if it is Jane or Meredith or Joy that received the cryptocurrency. That is why it is said to be anonymous. So once again, the cryptocurrency space and the blockchain is transparent, but it is also anonymous. All right, moving on. Now, for those who don't understand that cryptocurrency is here to stay, these are a few stats for you. This data is as of last year, where surveys showed that approximately 420 million crypto users, 420 million people use cryptocurrency actively around the world. Now, this data is quite old because a few months ago, like 5 months ago, I was doing my research and I saw that right now, as we speak, there are more than 570 million people who use cryptocurrency actively. 570 million. And of course, this number has definitely increased as the time rolls by. Below here, you have top countries that are involved with cryptocurrency. We have USA, we have India, we have Pakistan, we have Nigeria, and we have Vietnam as well. Now, moving forward, we've talked about what cryptocurrency is. We've talked about it. We've talked about what fiat currency is. We've talked about the blockchain. We've talked about the characteristics of the blockchain, and so on. So before I go ahead into explaining what cryptocurrency exchanges are, I would like you to type in the chat for me. Like I said, I always like very interactive classes, so please do well to respond. So I mentioned two major words when I was explaining the blockchain. Can you please type the two major characteristics I mentioned in regards to the blockchain? Please type in the chat. Please type in the chat. I'll be looking out for the best answers. I mentioned two major characteristics. So please let me know what they are about the blockchain. We have approximately 45 people in the room right now. So please do well to respond, especially for those that are here for the very first time or the newbies. All right, so we have kindness. Kindness, it's a nice name. Kindness says transparent and anonymous. Moneymaker says transparency and anonymous. Victor says it is transparent and anonymous. Idris says anonymous. Choma said it is transparent and anonymous. Fantastic. So those are the two main characteristics of the blockchain. Now, moving forward, let's talk about cryptocurrency exchanges. What exactly are exchanges? Now, exchanges are basically digital platforms or digital marketplaces where you can purchase cryptocurrency, you can buy, you can sell, you can keep, whatever it is, it's all done in a cryptocurrency exchange. So I'm sure you've heard about a lot of them. You've heard of Binance, you've heard of Kraken, you've heard of KuCoin, you've heard of OKX, you've heard of Bybit. These are all cryptocurrency exchanges where you can purchase cryptocurrency, sell, buy, keep, whatever it is that you want to do. These are digital marketplaces where you can transact with cryptocurrency. Now let's talk about trading pairs. Now when you hear the words trading pairs, or when you hear the word trading pair, P-A-I-R, the first thing that should come to your mind is the number 2. When you hear the word pair, the first thing that should come to your mind is the number 2. All right? So when you hear trading pairs, you know that has to do with trading, but has to be something that's in twos in regards to trading. So what exactly are we trying to talk about here? When you hear the words trading pairs, we have different types of trading pairs. We have crypto trading pairs. We also have fiat trading pairs. Remember, I explained these two terms when we started the meeting. I explained to you what cryptocurrency is. I also explained to you what fiat currencies are. So for trading pairs, we have different types of trading pairs. We have cryptocurrency trading pairs, and we have fiat trading pairs. So let's say, for instance, let's understand it better by using everyday examples. Now, I always use this analogy every meeting of mine. So for those that are here for the very first time or newbies, please pay attention. Excuse me. All right. So let's take, for instance, a friend of yours decides to come visit you from the US. Take, for instance, you currently live in Nigeria All right. You live in Nigeria and a friend of yours has come to visit you here in Nigeria and they hand over $100 note to you. Remember, they hand over $100 note to you. All right, so you're grateful to them, you are thankful. The very next day, you decide to go exchange this money for the legal currency of the country you are living in at the time, which is Nigeria. So what do? The very next day, you head over to a bureau de change, or you head over to an aboki and like, I beg aboki, how much is dollar to naira today? That is a typical way that we'll all ask for that. So you ask him, I beg, how much is dollar to naira today? The trading pair for that question you are asking is USD slash NGN. USD slash NGN. This simply means how much is the dollar you are holding? What is it worth in naira? What is the value of this $100 I'm holding in the legal currency of the country I am living in at the time? So remember, I talked about when you hear the word pair, it has to do with twos. So this is the trading pair for that question. USD slash NGN. USD, which stands for United States dollar, while NGN stands for Nigerian naira. So this is the trading pair question for that transaction. Now, that is the first example. So let's do an example now. Please type in the chat if you know the answer. You should know the answer from this example I gave. So let's take, for instance, please pay attention. Let's say, for instance, you currently are residing in the US. You live in the US. A friend of yours has come to visit you from the UK. So you're living in the US. A friend of yours has come to visit you from the UK. Now they get to your house in the US and then they hand over £100 note to you. £100. They hand that over to you. All right. So because you cannot spend that money in the US, you decide to go exchange that for the legal currency of the country you are residing in at the time. Can you please type in the chat, what would the trading pair be for that transaction? Can you please type in the chat, what would the trading pair for that transaction be? Remember, you live in the US. A friend of yours has come to visit you from the UK and hands over £100 note to you. You decide to go exchange that. Please type in the chat, what would the trading pair for that transaction be? Okay, so the first person says, Young Obioma says, GBP slash USD. The next person says, USD slash GBP. Moneymaker says GBP slash USD. Awesome. All right, so just like we said, trading pairs has to do with twos. And the example we gave right now is that, 1 second, please. What's more, can you please make me co-host and then make me host again? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Let me try. No,
Yeah,
I'm a co-host. I'm a co-host. I'm still a co-host.
Okay, my
You
cursor
are the
has
host.
disappeared. My cursor has disappeared, that's why. 1 second, please. See if you can stop sharing my screen, and then if you can edit the stuff, which is technology. So my apologies. So as I was saying, I was talking about trading pairs, and we did a little exercise whereby we I said a friend of yours has come to visit you from the UK, and they came to visit you there in the US. The trading pair for that transaction would be GBP slash USD. GBP slash USD, because pounds GBP stands for Great British Pounds, while USD stands for United States dollar. So I'm hoping that is clear as to what trading pairs are. So that example I just gave, both of them, the one where you're in Nigeria and the one where you are in the US, those are examples of fiat trading pairs, fiat currency trading pairs. But remember, I told you that we also have what we call um, crypto trading pairs. And right here, you see BTC slash USDT over here. BTC slash USDT. This is an example of a cryptocurrency trading pair because BTC stands for Bitcoin, while USDT stands for United States Dollar Tether. Tether. When I say tether, Tether. Tether simply means something that is attached to another thing, something that is hooked to something else. All right. So USDT is the cryptocurrency equivalent of a regular dollar. So one USD is equal to one USDT. Like I said, USDT is the cryptocurrency equivalent of a regular US dollar, while vice versa, one USD is the fiat currency equivalent of one USDT. I hope that is clear. So moving on. Now let's talk about some basic investment strategies when it comes to cryptocurrency. How can you make more of your cryptocurrency? The first one is by what we call hodling. By what we call hodling. HODLING. Now, what is hodling? Hodling simply is when you decide to hold on to something. Excuse me. When you decide to hold on to something, let's say you have a piece of land and you have decided that you're not going to sell off this land no matter what happens. You are not selling, you are deciding to hold on to it because you believe that in the future, this land will be worth way more than it is right now. So that's why it's called hodling. So that example of a land, obviously in this case, we mean a cryptocurrency. Yes, there are cryptocurrencies that you can look at and you can decide, you know what, I'm going to hold on to this coin for the long term. No matter what happens, I am not selling off. That is how a lot of people made a lot of money from cryptocurrency, from Bitcoin. When Bitcoin came out the very first time, Bitcoin was less than $1. It was less than $1. And of course, when new things come into play and nobody understands it, everybody calls it a scam. So yes, when Bitcoin came out at first, everybody said it was a scam. This thing cannot work. There is no legal backing. There is no financial backing. This thing is just Ponzi. There is no way it can last. But here we are, many years down the line, and Bitcoin is now a force to be reckoned with, the number one cryptocurrency. So that was the power of hodling. People that believed in Bitcoin back then decided to buy a few of them, maybe $100 worth or $10 worth, and right now they are multi-millionaires. Imagine buying one Bitcoin when it was less than $1 for one Bitcoin. Let's say you bought 10 pieces of Bitcoins, 10 Bitcoins back then at less than $1. Right now, one Bitcoin is trading at approximately $75,000 to $73,000 for one Bitcoin times 10. That's just to show you that the possibilities of cryptocurrency is just endless. Tell me what other business it is that you can put in less than $1 and make over $700,000 in the next 10 years. It's impossible. It's impossible. But that's the power of hodling when it comes to cryptocurrency. The next way you can make money for yourself in cryptocurrency is by what we call day trading. And by day trading, it's done by day traders. Day traders are those that they look for short-term opportunities. Obviously, as a hodler, you are looking for long-term opportunities because you're looking to hold on to a coin for the long term because you believe that in the future, this coin will be worth way more than it is right now. But a day trader is looking to make quick gains as fast as possible. That way, they are looking to get to the market and get out. So, yes, for you to become a day trader, you need extensive knowledge and understanding of the market before you can be profitable in this market. So, what I mean by that is you need understanding, you need a lot of knowledge, you need a lot of teaching as well to learn how this trading works. Now, this doesn't mean that you cannot be one or the other. It doesn't mean that you must be a day trader or you must be a hodler. You can actually be both of them. So yes, you can trade, you can also be a hodler. But for you to become a day trader, you need extensive knowledge and understanding of the market. Next, now let's talk about why we're here today. We're here to talk about the business of RoyalQ. Now, before I go into that, I would like to talk about artificial intelligence. Now, what exactly is artificial intelligence? AI. AI simply is here to help make our lives better. It is here to help enhance our productivity in whatever it is that we do, whether a 9 to 5 or a business that you're doing or whatever it is. AI is here to help you out. Let's take, for instance, in the US right now, we know the man we call Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk, the owner of the company, he owns the company, the Tesla company. The Tesla company, they produce self-driving cars. Who would have thought that in 2024, they would have cars that can drive on their own without you doing anything? These were things that we were seeing in movies many years ago, from 20 years ago down the line. We could see in movies, futuristic movies of cars driving by themselves. And obviously, we all thought this is not possible. This is just a movie. But here we are. It is our present reality. So they produce self-driving cars. All this is powered by artificial intelligence. In China, there are self-driving taxi companies. What do I mean by that? That these companies do not have a single driver on their payroll. So what do? You pop on your phone, you select your location, the car drives up to where you are, you get in, and it drives you to your destination. All this through the power of artificial intelligence. Once again, helping make your life easier. So if you have a business or if you have an AI tool that is helping make your transportation easier, you have an AI tool that's helping make your education easier, you have an AI tool that's helping make your 9 to 5 easier, why not have one that can help make your trading easier? And that is where RoyalQ Bot comes into play. Because RoyalQ is an automated AI trading bot that is here to help you and I make money from the market. It will help you monitor the market, help you sell, help you buy with ease. This will be your employee. This will work for you while you go ahead and do whatever it is that you do during the day, whether a 9 to 5 or a businessman. This will work for you. Moving on. This image right here depicts what I've been trying to talk about since. On the left, you have a human. Now, this doesn't mean that people that don't trade without AI don't make money. I'll be lying to you if I tell you that you must trade with an AI tool before you can make money in crypto. I'll be lying to you. As a matter of fact, there are very profitable traders who make money, yes, even without using AI tools. But there is only so much a human being can do at a time. There is only so much a human being can monitor. There's only so much trades a human being can monitor at a time. A human cannot monitor 50 to 100 trades at a go. It is impossible. A human being has emotions, it has feelings. let's say your kids' school fees are almost due in 3 days' time, or your rent is due by next week. Now you are trading, even when you're not supposed to be trading, because at the back of your mind, I need to make this money now. And that is the worst way to trade, because as soon as you impute or imbibe anything regarding to feeling in your trading, you will lose money. You will lose money. But on the right here, on the right, we have an AI tool that is focused on just doing its job. The AI tool has no feelings, no emotion, doesn't care if you have bills to pay, doesn't care if your rent is due. It just executes. It just performs what it's supposed to do. An AI tool can monitor, the RoyalQ bot can monitor so many trades at a go. So many trades at a go. Way more than a human being can physically. So, what would your option be? Listen to all this I've talked about now. What would your option really be? A, trade on your own and have to monitor a lot of trades. Obviously, you can't monitor a lot, so many. Have the risk of imbibing emotion into your trade. Or option B, have an AI tool that is helping make your trading easier, helping make you trade with ease, no matter what. I think we all know the answer. Now, moving on. How exactly does RoyalQ make money for you and I? Now, here we have a graphical representation. On the left here, we have the RoyalQ bot. On the right here, we have your cryptocurrency exchange. Now, and in the middle, we have the API. The API is literally what syncs your RoyalQ application to your cryptocurrency exchange. Now, why is this syncing important? It's important because no one has access to your money except you. All your funds, your capital, your profits, everything remains in your own possession. So if you don't take anything away from this call today, take this one away. In RoyalQ, you do not send your money to anyone. In RoyalQ, you do not send your funds to anyone. Everything pertaining to security is in your hands because you have the password. Sanity is in your hands. Nobody has access to who can make a withdrawal. Is you. RoyalQ cannot withdraw money from this. Only you can. The API only gives it a sneak peek into how much is in there so that it can help you trade on this system. So that is exactly how the RoyalQ application works. Now, the trading pattern in which RoyalQ makes money for you and I is called spot trading. Now, when you hear spot trading, it might seem a little technical, but trust me, by the time I'm done explaining, you understand that it's quite easy. Now, what exactly is spot trading? Excuse me. Okay, so every businessman and woman here on this call or around the world, every man and woman who decides to start a business, they do it for a reason. They decide they want to start a business because they want to make profit. I don't think there's anybody that looks to starting a business because they want to lose money. I don't know of anybody like that. So every businessman and woman I know, they want to start a business because they want to make profit. Now, what exactly is making profit? Making profit simply is sourcing for your product, looking for the best one to buy, buying it at a cheaper rate or a lower price, and then selling it at a higher price. Obviously, the difference between both sides is the profit. Remember, buy low, sell high, buy low, and sell high, and the difference is exactly what we call the profit. So what if I told you right now that spot trading, this thing that sounds so technical, is simply buying low and selling high? Spot trading simply means buying an asset low and selling it at a higher price. Simple. That is exactly how the RoyalQ bot helps us make money from the market. Now, moving on, let's talk about another way that Royal Qbot helps us make money, and that's called the martingale strategy. It is called the martingale strategy, or we can call it the dollar cost averaging method. Dollar cost averaging method. Now, what exactly is this method? So let's use an example. So let's say we have two people. Now, the first person, his name is, let's say, Mr. John. Now, Mr. John decides to purchase a cryptocurrency. He decides to purchase it at the price of $200. Now, his plan is that when this coin appreciates to 500, he's going to sell off and make profit. That is his plan. But the thing about the cryptocurrency market is that we might have our plan, but the market does what it wants to do whenever it wants to do it. So Mr. John has planned that this coin that he bought at $200, when it gets to 500, he's going to sell off and make profit. But the market decides to go the other way. And what does it do? Now, take for instance, the market starts dropping. The coin he bought for $200 is now worth $195. It keeps dropping, it's now worth $190. It keeps dropping, it's now worth $150. Keeps dropping, is now worth $100. A coin that he bought for $200 is now worth $100. Now you might be thinking, Mr. John has lost money. Mr. John as well is wondering, have I lost money? What do I do? Do I sell off at $100 and just, take my losses? Or can I just wait? Thankfully, Mr. John decides to, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead with my life. Whenever this coin bounces back up, I will sell off. He decides he's not going to sell off at a loss. He's going to just wait for the market to recover because the market always recovers. The market does only two things. The market does only two things. It goes down and it comes up. It goes down and it comes up. There is no constant uptrend of a market and there is no constant downtrend of a market. The market constantly fluctuates up and down continuously. So Mr. John realizes that the market will eventually recover. So he decides to carry about his day or his work. Yeah, it might take a while, weeks or months for the market to recover, but eventually his coin appreciates back to the point of when he bought at first. Now, at this point, he can decide to sell off and break even, or he can decide to wait a little further for the market to get to his initial target, his initial profit target. So you can see that Mr. John didn't lose money throughout this entire thing. The only thing he lost was time. Of course, because it took him time to wait for the market to go down and come up. He had to wait for the market to go down and come up. That is the only thing he lost, which was time. Now, let's take, for instance, there's another person. Let's call her Miss Jane. Now, she decides to do the same thing that Mr. John has done, but with a little difference. So what does she do? Again, she decides to purchase a coin at $200. Her plan is that when this coin appreciates to 500, she's going to sell off in profit. But once again, the market does what it wants to do. That coin starts depreciating in value. It starts dropping from 200. It drops to 195. It drops to 180. It keeps dropping even to the point where it gets to $100. But Miss Jane is not panicking because she understands that, the market does two things. It goes down and it comes up. So she isn't panicking just like Mr. John was. She decides that she's going to do something. As a matter of fact, she sees this as an opportunity for her to make more money. How? You might ask me. Now, every time the market dropped, Miss Jane purchased more coins. Every time the market dropped, Miss Jane purchased more coins. Every single time the market dropped, Miss Jane just kept purchasing more coins. Now, somebody who doesn't understand the martingale strategy would think that Miss Jane doesn't understand what she's doing. You might wonder, this woman, you see that you're losing money and you're still putting in money into this thing. Are you okay? But yes, as a matter of fact, she understands how the market works. She understands that by the time this market recovers, she's going to make way more money than Mr. John. Because remember, the only thing Mr. John did was just to wait. He didn't take action. He didn't buy further. He didn't buy more. He just let it ride. But Miss Jane decided to purchase more positions while the market is dwindling because she knows that by the time this coin starts appreciating, even to the point when she bought at first, she would have made way more money than Mr. John. So yes, all these extra positions that she bought would multiply to multiply the money that she would make. So therefore, she would make way more money than Mr. John did. Now, this is the power of the martingale strategy. And as a matter of fact, all these things I just explained now are done with ease. What I mean by that is the Royal Bot does all this for you with ease. You don't have to manually buy. You don't have to manually watch the market when it's going down to buy more positions. The Royal Bot does it for you with ease. All right, moving on. Now let's talk about some other strategies. The next one is called the cycle strategy. And when we say cycle, this simply means that when you hear cycle, you know that it has to do with something that is constantly repeating itself. Something that is constantly repeating itself. So cycle strategy. This is a strategy whereby you tell or you instruct your Royal Bot, please purchase a coin for me at a certain point. Let's say, for instance, you tell your Royal Bot, please purchase for me at $200. When the market appreciates to 500, please sell. If the market comes back down, please rebuy. If it goes up, please sell, and so on. Basically, you have given an instruction that it should continue this act no matter what happens. It will continue buying and selling no matter what happens until you come back and stop this strategy. All right, that is exactly what the cycle strategy is. Now, the next one is called the one-shot strategy. Now, just like the name implies, it is a one-time instruction that you have given to your Royal Bot, where you have told it, you know what, buy at a certain position. When it gets to a profit of whatever, sell. If the market starts coming back down, do not buy into the market. If it goes back up, do not buy. If it comes back down, do not buy. Basically, the only instruction you have given it here, the only important instruction is the very first one, where you told it to buy at 200 and sell at 500. Nothing else would count. Nothing else would happen because it is a one-shot strategy. I hope it is clear. Please type in the chat yes or no if you don't understand what the cycle or the one-shot strategy describes. If you understand it better, if you understand it well, please type a yes. If you don't, please type a no. If you understand the cycle and the one-shot, please type a yes. If you don't, please type a no. All right. Awesome. All right, so we have a lot of yeses, so we'll move on to the next one. All right, so what kind of profits can you make from these strategies? Now we've talked about the cycle, we've talked about the one shot. Now, what kind of profits can you make from these strategies? Now, for the cycle strategy, you can make from 5 to 30% per month, depending on the coin that you have chosen to trade at the time. depending on the coin you have chosen to trade at the time. So the next one is one shot strategy. Now you can make from 5 to 100%, again, depending on the coin you have chosen to trade at the time. Moving on. Now let's talk about what kind of income do you make from your RoyalQ business? The first one is called the trading income. Now, trading income simply is when your RoyalQ bot sells successfully for you. When your RoyalQ bot sells successfully for you, we call that the trading income. The next one is the team trading profits. So basically, when you decide to show this business to someone else and they get started and they start trading as well, as they make profits, you also make profits. Next, we have the affiliate income. Same thing. When you share this business with someone and they decide to get started, as soon as they get started, you get rewarded for bringing them into this business. That is optional. You can decide to focus mainly on the trading or focus mainly on the recruiting. That is entirely up to you. But this is a trading bot that can help you make more gains from the cryptocurrency market. Finally, we have the fuel fee. Now, remember I talked about the main thing that most businessmen and women always want to make when they start a business, which is profit. So, of course, the people who started this business, who started this RoyalQ bot, of course, they want to make profit. But the good thing is that they have tied their profits to you making profits. So they only make profit when you make profit. If you don't make profit, they don't make profit. So they want you to succeed. They want you to win so they can also get a cut of your profits. So how does this work? The fuel fee is basically 20% of any profit you make. So let's say you make $100 in profit, 20% of that goes to the RoyalQ business. If you make $10 in profit, 20% of that goes to the RoyalQ business as well. No matter what it is, a $1 profit, 20% of that goes to the RoyalQ business as well. That is their own profit. All right, so how do you get started with this business? Number one, you will need a minimum of 240 USDT. Remember, I talked about the different currencies. We talked about fiat, we talked about crypto, we talked about what USDT stands for, United States dollar tether, which is the cryptocurrency equivalent of a regular dollar. So yes, because RoyalQ is a cryptocurrency business, you have to pay in cryptocurrency. So you will need a minimum of 240 USDT to kickstart this business. Now, how is that split? From that 240, 120 USDT gives you access to use the RoyalQ bot. It's a subscription-based bot. Basically, this 120 USDT gives you access for 1 year. It's just like paying for your Netflix or your Amazon Prime or whatever streaming service that you use. This is also a subscription-based bot. Next, 20 USDT for your fuel fee. Now, every profit, like I said, every profit you make, 20% of that goes to the RoyalQ business. Now, that 20% is taken from this 20 USDT right here. Now, you will need a minimum of 100 USDT in your cryptocurrency exchange to get started with trading. A minimum. Of course, the more money you have in your business, of course, the more profits you make. And the good thing as well, like I said, is that everything that pertains to security is in your hands because your profits, your capital, everything is in your own possession. You are not sending your money to anyone to trade on your behalf. You are the one that will have possession of your own money in your own cryptocurrency exchange. So yes, no matter how much it is that you decide to use to trade, you can use $100, you can use $1,000, you can use 10,000. Yes, we do have people trading with 10,000, $50,000 and more. because they are in possession of their capital. That is why they are comfortable to use that amount to trade. So moving on. Here are 7 reasons why RoyalQ is just amazing. The first one is that no payment of salary to anyone because everything is done on your smartphone. Next, no data required. So the only time you will require data is when you are setting up your RoyalQ trade, when you are giving it instructions on what coin to buy, on when to sell, and when to buy as well. But as soon as you click on start, as soon as you click on comments, you can turn off your data, you can walk into a place that has no internet access, you can walk into a remote village, excuse me, and the RoyalQ bot will carry out your trades with ease. You don't have to be there actively to sell or buy. It would carry out your trades with ease. Next, 0% supervision. Your capital and profit is 100% in your custody. I think I've said this so many times during this meeting so that you understand that you are not sending your money to anyone. You are in possession of your money, you're in possession of your capital and your profits as well. All that is in your own possession. Next, your kids and your family can inherit this business. Like I said, we have a saying that in the future, we will no longer be passing on land documents and a lot of paperwork to our loved ones. We will be passing on our passwords and our private keys for our loved ones to access our digital wealth. Next, no loss of funds and no third party. That is self-explanatory. No skills required. The only time you require skills is when you decide to become a day trader. Remember, I talked about day trading, whereby you need extensive knowledge and understanding of the markets, where you have to actually learn how to trade. We have a lot of calls. We have technical calls for those trainings on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So please reach out to the person who invited you to this call and tell them you would like to attend those meetings, especially if you remember already, so they can come there and look at what we are doing. We have amazing coaches that teach us what exactly to look out for in the market, when to trade, when not to trade, what to look out for as well. All that are in those meetings. So please make use of them. All right. So, what do you stand to gain when you get started with the RoyalQ business? Number one, you get access to the RQTMI premium group. We have a thriving community. We have an amazing community of members and leaders that are here to help and hold your hands no matter what it is. We're here to guide you. We have calls almost every day of the week to help you promote your business, to help you talk to your prospects, to help you preach the gospel of RoyalQ. Next, free training until you become a pro with the RoyalQ bot. So like I said, we have calls almost every day of the week. We have technical classes as well that will teach you how to trade as well on your own. All this will be taught as soon as you get started with this business. Next, you also get an RQTMI trading setup template. Now, this template caters to whatever capital structure you have, from $100 to $1,000 to $1,000,000, whatever it is. There is a setup template that is here to help you maximize your capital, to help you make the most gains. Now, if you decide to go learn all this elsewhere, it can cost you from $5,000 to $6,000 to learn elsewhere. But as soon as you get started, you purchase your RoyalQ application, your RoyalQ bot, and you start trading, you become part of the family, and all this will become free to you. Yes, absolutely free. All this training, all this education, everything that has to do with mentorship, all this is free as soon as you get started. That being said, please, if you enjoyed this meeting, if you got any value from this meeting, please type value in the chat. Let me know if you understood the meeting, if you enjoyed it as well. Once again, my name is Ikenna George Elendo. Thank you for listening to my voice. I'll be here same time next week, and do well to reach out to the person who invited you and let them know you are ready to get started, especially if you haven't gotten started already. Please let them know. I'm going to unmute ourselves to say our goodbyes. Have an amazing evening, everyone. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Very nice.
Wow, too much.
Very
Too
nice.
much.
Added more value every day. Keep learning. Thank you.